It might be quiet here at Tormore Reserve right now, but here on Saturday it will be a buzz with Choose Tap Finals fever. The Division 2 Grand Final between Montrose and Mooroolbark here at Boronia on Saturday afternoon. We're out here for EFL TV, all thanks to Ferntree, Gully, Holden and HSV, where driving and local footy means a great deal. A special Choose Tap Division 2 Grand Final edition of EFL TV this week here from Boronia, and it's certainly going to be a big day here on Saturday afternoon as Montrose and Mooroolbark compete to join the EFL's elite in the Premier Division. Speaking of elite, our Premier man on the EFL media team is Peter Frosty Baird. Hello Frosty, you must be certainly looking forward to this occasion on Saturday afternoon.
I can't wait to get out here on Saturday, Ben. It's going to be fantastic. Two ripper teams going head-to-head for a spot to claim that Division 2 premiership and move to Division 1 next year.
Well, it's a big game, obviously, and Montrose are obviously the side that they've been primed. I think a lot of us think they were primed both on and off the field to go up to Division 1 next year, but they've got to win this game this afternoon. They've had 3 grand final losses in the past half a decade or so. They need to try and rectify that. One man who will be certainly going about his business there will be Brett Johnson, but he'll have a tough matchup.
Oh, certainly will. I mean, it's going to be an absolutely crucial matchup. He's going to probably find himself head-to-head with Mike Smith. They're both the spiritual leaders of their football clubs. They're hard at it. They run hard. It's going to be an absolutely fitting, absolutely riveting contest to see who actually gets on top there, gets first use out of that middle. It's going to be a really important contest to decide probably who wins the game. It's going to be one of the most important matchups on the afternoon, I think.
Looking at the Montrose forward line, immediately we think of Billy Schilling. He's the big man up there. He's the guy that takes the big marks and kicks the goals at most opportune time. But probably we think Trent Giorgio might go to him, one of the best defenders in Division 2.
Oh, it's one of the strengths of Trent Giorgio. He's able to run off. He's able to provide rebound. He's so good in the air. If he can shut down Billy Schilling and provide plenty of drive out of that Mooroolbark defence, I mean, Mooroolbark are every chance of getting over this game. But as we said, Montrose, they're a team that probably as ready as any other team ever has been to win a flag and go up.
And this game obviously has 2 of the premier midfielders in Division 2, Frosty. One of them is Matty Polkinghorne from the Mooroolbark Footy Club. He's certainly been in terrific form, in great goal-kicking form as well. But he'll come up against one of the best in Division 2, and he has been for quite some time. That's Dean Stephen from Montrose.
Both are regulars in the SEN Division 2 Team of the Year, year in, year out. They're fantastic players. They run, they carry, they provide plenty of drive out of the midfield. They're hard and they're tough. It's going to be another contest that just decides who's going to win this game on Saturday afternoon.
Well, Frosty, one of the things you do best here in the AFL media team is put that big reputation of yours on the line. Let's put it on the line right now. Montrose and Mooroolbark surely are going for the Ds. They've been the best team all year.
I don't want to say it, Ben. I'm going to tip another upset. I reckon Montrose carry too many emotional scars from grand final defeats over the last couple of years. I reckon Mooroolbark can get the job done. It'll be less than a goal, the difference at the end of the final siren, but I'm tipping a Moosa B boys to come away with the flag.
Yeah, I'm not agreeing with you. I think Montrose might do a little bit of a North Ringwood last year. Not to the same extent, obviously, but I think Montrose are prime for this one. The D's for mine. Let's have a look at Division 1, and of course, Frosty, the first week of the Choose Tap Finals played out last weekend on Saturday and Sunday. We're out there for EFL Game Day on Saturday, and we saw Vermont defeat Noble Park, not very convincingly, it has to be said. They only won by 16 points in the end. The Bulls put up a good fight. Are the Eagles any chance against Baldwin this weekend, though?
I don't think so. I think Baldwin have Vermont's measure. I think Vermont, they've come up against Baldwin the last 6 times they've played them, and Baldwin have had very resounding wins. I think the average winning margin's in excess of 10 goals to the Tigers. I reckon Baldwin can get the job done and book themselves in a place in the Division 1 Choose Tap Grand Final this weekend.
Well, that'll be a big opportunity for Baldwin. Of course, they have been the best team in Division 1 statistically throughout the season. Norwood and South Croydon obviously played in the Battle of Maroondah on Sunday in the Elimination Choose Tap Final. Norwood getting the chocolates in the end. I think most people expected Norwood to get this one, but it brings to close a wonderful season by South Croydon.
Oh, it does. I mean, South Croydon, they were very gallant, but unfortunately they didn't have the class. They had a few players out on the weekend. They couldn't match it with Norwood. Norwood get their chance now to take on Noble Park. Saw Dennis Knight earlier today at EFL House. Had a bit of a swagger in his step as well. Might fancy his chances against his old club, the Bulls, this weekend. I reckon Noble Park, though, they'll go through it. I reckon they'll play Vermont again next weekend.
Let's have a look at the Division 3 Choose Tap finals, Frosty, that occurred on the weekend, and two rippers, it has to be said. We saw one of them. We'll get to that one in a tick. But firstly, Wantirna South are straight through to the Division 3 Grand Final. They knocked off top of the table Doncaster, only by a couple of goals in the end. But what a great effort by the Devils. They're straight through to the Grand Final.
Yeah, they've been building the Devils. They missed out on finals last year. They're probably one of the better performed teams in the second half of last year. This year they've carried their form all the way through to the Choose Tap finals. They've booked their spot in the grand final now. Now they can sit back and wait for the winner of Doncaster and Mitcham.
Well, that brings us to what an awesome game it was on Sunday afternoon between Boronia and Mitcham. I think personally one of the best games I've seen this year. Just had everything. Mitcham just took their chances probably in that last quarter in the end, but Boronia gave them a big fright.
They did. Mitcham was so gallant. They were probably down and out late in that last term. They found something. Steve Pym and Johnny Pignataro rose to meet the occasion. They were fantastic. And yeah, it's going to set up another great contest this weekend. I'm going for the Tigers. I reckon they can get all the way through to the grand final and face Wantirna South.
For once, Frosty, we're in unison. Tigers for mine as well.
Tercerelli needs to go. He does and takes a great mark. And he's off and running. A look kick inside 50. Pignataro's one-on-one. Pignataro takes the mark. Stop to the left-hand side, still in play. Pym keeps it in. Clever little Wayne Harms tap. Back to Faulkner. Pignataro's going to mark in the pocket. Luck's a fortune. Pignataro, right place, right time. Swings around the left boot. Kicks the goal. Johnny Pignataro kicks his second, and Mitcham get the quick reply.
Somehow they're getting themselves out of trouble here. Mitcham is still working the ball forward. Here's the big man inside forward 50. Kick towards the Pignataro direction. Shannon Bainbridge nearly pulled it in with one arm. But Pignataro steps around the body. You are kidding me. He slammed it home from an impossible angle. Johnny Pignataro slams it home. And all of a sudden Mitcham are back in front of this game.
And of course, the Division 4 Choose Tap finals continued on the weekend and Saturday afternoon. What an unbelievable game. Your old man Ray Baird was out there and he just loved seeing that match between Forest Hill and Sylvan. And the Zebras came from, I think it was 44 points down during that second term they were down at one stage. And they were able to get a victory on the board, led by our man, Michael Cartermo.
He was fantastic. He kicked 8 goals on the weekend. He backed it up from his performance the week before where he kicked 5. He's just in some ripping form at the moment. And Forest Hill, they turned the tables on Sylvan. Don't forget, earlier in the year, they led Sylvan by in excess of 40 points at three-quarter time to have the Cats run all over the top of them. They did that to them last weekend as well. They were down by just on 5 goals at three-quarter time. Sylvan came out and kicked the first 2 of the last quarter. Then it was all Forest Hill. You couldn't stop that green and white avalanche.
Zebras, of course, will come up against Ferntree Gully this weekend in the preliminary final in Division 4. Of course, South Belgrave and Ferntree Gully played in the weekend. As expected, South Belgrave going straight through to the Division 4 Choose Tap Grand Final, but not as easy as their first 2 encounters. It has to be said, Ferntree Gully did put up a bit of a show against South Belgrave in the end, but the Saints just maybe flexing their muscle.
Yeah, they didn't have it all their own way on the weekend. Ferntree Gully jumped out of the blocks, quite a little bit of scoreboard pressure on South Belgrave. Maybe they're starting to feel the pressure of going through the year undefeated. Who knows? They rose, they met the challenge. Their big forwards came to the party, and it was just too much for Ferntree Gully to handle in the end. Ferntree Gully now have to regroup. They're going to face a different style team this weekend, the run and spread of Forest Hill. It's going to be at Walker Park. It's going to be a ripping contest. I'm going another upset. I'm tipping Forest Hill. I reckon they can get through and play South Belgrave.
Forest Hill every chance, but Ferntree Gully worked too hard for this. Ferntree Gully for mine. There you have it, Frosty. Another edition of EFL TV done and dusted here from Tormore Reserve in Boronia. The calm before the storm right now, but on Saturday, this place will be abuzz with finals fever as we head towards the Choose Tap Grand Final in Division 2, which will obviously be our radio game on Saturday afternoon. Big pre-match, a 1.5 hour pre-match, starting from 1 o'clock on 98.1 FM and EFL.org.au. Then on Sunday, of course, no grand finals. Of course, the Vets Grand Final between South Croydon and Boronia at Lilydale. Big game, that one. But from a senior perspective, we'll be heading out to Jubilee Park for Noble Park and Norwood. Frosty, who's going to win that Noble Park and Norwood game?
I'm sticking with the Bulls. I've liked them all year. I reckon they can get through.
Well, it should be a fantastic contest out here at Tullamore Reserve on Saturday. Make sure you don't miss a beat here on EFL.org.au right throughout the week and, of course, in the lead-up and the post-match of what should be a great Division 2 Grand Final. Frosty, contain that excitement of yours, please, and we'll see you on Saturday.
You certainly will, mate. I can't wait.
We'll see you next week.